Hi, this is Randy. I'm going to talk about this again. I have talked about this before, and that is online dating sites. And so there's some discussion on one of my videos between some commenters about how dating sites are swarming with narcissists. Now, what narcissists are we talking about? Because narcissists, I think when we're on these channels, we are talking about full-blown NPDs, not someone who has a couple traits. We're talking about somebody who has full-blown NPD. We just don't always say full-blown NPD. So is what you're saying or you're believing is that most of the people on dating sites have full-blown NPD? Is that what you really believe? Because there's a lot of reasons why I have to refute this. Although, of course, I don't have any proof because, first of all, I have the belief that it's easy to spot overt narcissists. And yes, there are a lot of them, and they don't become harmful because, not to me anyway, because I spot them like really quickly. They're pretty disgusting. They're pretty like annoying, and it's not somebody you really want to be around. So they don't really get a chance to hurt you through a dating site. Oh my gosh, I see a bug up there. Yeah, above the skull. Okay, so who cares about these overt narcissists on dating sites? They can't hurt you because you can identify them. The only ones that can hurt you are the covert ones. Now, I have a strong belief that you cannot identify a covert narcissist until you begin to develop a relationship with them, or you have already developed a relationship with them, a close relationship. So if that is true, that you have to develop a close relationship with the person to be able to identify if they're a covert narcissist, then how can any of you say that the dating sites are swarming with narcissists? Are you talking about they're swarming with overt narcissists? Are you talking about they're swarming with people that you can identify some narcissistic traits in? Are you talking about they're swarming with people that would meet all the criteria for NPD? Because you can't be talking about that they're swarming with people who meet the criteria for NPD and they're covert, because there's no way, in my opinion, you could even tell that until you got in a relationship with them. And how many of you have actually gotten into, like, I don't know, you'd have to get into thousands of relationships with all the people on the dating site in order to really be able to show that, yes, indeed, you know, I had a relationship with, you know, these 5,000 guys, which, you know, is impossible to do, and it would take a lifetime because it takes a long time to develop a relationship. And that's when you find out that it's a covert narcissist, and you go through the stages, and then when it's all done, you figure it out. So it's like, now that you've gone through it, you might be able to identify an idealization phase, but you won't know for sure that it's idealization. You might be able to find some red flags, but you won't know for sure that this is a covert narcissist, because people have their own defenses, and people have been hurt before, and people are paranoid, and some people are arrogant, and some people have been hurt, some people are selfish, but none of those things equal a full-blown NPD. So you wouldn't know. So everybody, I mean, I don't even know why I'm sticking up for dating sites, really, because I certainly haven't had any luck in even meeting anybody that I wanted to have a relationship with. But that doesn't mean that I thought that they were all narcissists, and that's why I didn't want relationships with them. That's why I didn't want to see them more than the one time I ever met them and then moved on because I didn't click with them. Just because I haven't had any luck whatsoever in finding somebody that I really liked and clicked with does not mean that means that they were all narcissists. I don't even think about that. I don't sit there and think that like everybody walking around me is a narcissist, a full-blown NPD, and they're probably covert. So I'm not going to get into a relationship with them. No, it's like if I find somebody I want to get in a relationship with and it's mutual, I will do that. And during that process, I will look for red flags, and I would figure out if indeed that person was a covert narcissist, full-blown NPD, and then I would cut the relationship. But to predetermine for people to ahead of time scare people off and say that full-blown NPDs are swarming dating sites, and that, you know, to kind of insinuate that it would be covert, the covert type, because like it's not really important, the overt ones, right? The overt ones aren't the harmful ones. They are if they're in your family or if they're your boss and you can't get away from them. But in a dating site, you don't have any problem getting away from them. You don't even have to meet them. Usually they screw themselves up in their profile or in the first couple sentences of a message, and you can block them. You don't even get very far with an overt narcissist. So it's only the covert ones that I'm ever talking about, really. The other ones don't matter. The ones that are mid-range to high and that they're intelligent and they're covert, those are the ones that you have to watch out for, because those are the ones that slip by everybody and appear to be cool, appear to be nice, appear to be desirable, appear to have things going, okay? It's only underneath that they don't end up having anything going for them, and they end up screwing you over. And you can't possibly determine that until you at least start a relationship with them and get into it with them, get into the relationship. Then you can come on YouTube and talk about and tell everybody about how you ended up, you know, having some kind of relationship with a covert narcissist. But until you have a relationship with them, how are you going to say that somebody here, somebody there, somebody I saw on TV, somebody on the internet, somebody who wrote this book, somebody who's on YouTube is a narcissist when you haven't even met them and you have no close relationship with them? They have no ability to hurt you. So how would you know if they are this narcissist? I just don't get it, how people are throwing this term around, really taking all the oomph out of it, really minimizing the meaning of it for those of us who have really had an encounter, a short or long-term encounter, but a deep encounter, a close encounter, close encounters with these alien people that are evil. Otherwise, you're just talking about like some negative qualities of people. Yeah, there's negative qualities of people all over the place. You know, I have them. Oh, Richard Grannon has them. Everybody does. That's human. But when we're going to talk about full-blown NPD, we shouldn't throw that term around. And even though I've had the worst luck on dating sites of finding anybody I liked, I still don't get people talking about and being able to make that conclusion and that jump that all these full-blown, I guess, covert NPDs are on dating sites, because that to me would be like saying, you know, everybody who's single and over 30 must be a full-blown NPD. Because I'm telling you right now, a large percentage of single people are on dating sites now. They have tried in the past, or they're trying it now, or they will try it in the future. It's hard to meet people in real life unless you have family that can fix you up with somebody. And if you still believe that it's possible to love or fall in love at the ripe old age of 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, which I do, unlike some other people that watch my channel. I know it sounds juvenile, but I still do have that hope. Thank you, God, for giving me that hope. Thank you, God, for giving me the optimism to not see everybody on a dating site as a full-blown NPD, because otherwise I'd be so afraid. If that was the case, I'd just be afraid to leave my house. And I'm not afraid to leave my house because I trust my own judgment. And yes, if I take that risk and ever do get in a relationship with anybody again, there will be that possibility that it's a covert narc. And believe me, if it is, I'll be on here, YouTube, letting you know what happened. And if it's not, if it turns out to be a great relationship and it's somebody that's not a full-blown NPD, covert, narcissist, malignant, blah, 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 I'd probably be off YouTube and doing other fun things with the guy. Like, we'll be kayaking and, you know, going on trips and all sorts of fun stuff, and I won't have time to talk about full-blown NPD people on YouTube. All right, thanks for listening, guys. Have a great day.